I'm staring at my bank statement, and I see a number that makes my stomach drop: $32,119. That's how much I owed in credit card debt, student loans, and a personal loan when I turned 35. I'm not proud of it, but it's the truth. I was making $62,000 a year, but it felt like I was barely scraping by. I was so overwhelmed that I avoided looking at my finances for months. The thought of facing that number was just too much. But then something changed. I realized that I wasn't alone. Millions of people in the US are struggling with debt, and it's not just a matter of being irresponsible with money. It's about the system being stacked against us. So, I decided to take control. I started by facing my debt head-on, and I began to learn about personal finance. I read books, watched videos, and talked to financial experts. And slowly but surely, I started to make progress. I paid off $10,000 in debt in the first year, and then $15,000 in the second year. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Now, I want to share my catch-up plan with you. It's not a magic formula, but it's a step-by-step approach that actually works. First, you need to understand that paying off debt is not just about making payments. It's about changing your mindset and creating a new relationship with money. You need to start by tracking your expenses and making a budget. I know, it sounds boring, but trust me, it's essential. You can't fix what you don't understand. Once you have a clear picture of your finances, you can start to make changes. For me, it was about cutting back on unnecessary expenses and increasing my income. I started by cooking at home more often, canceling subscription services I didn't use, and taking on a side hustle. I also made sure to pay more than the minimum payment on my debts each month. One of the most important things I learned was about the power of compound interest. It's a powerful force that can work either for you or against you. When you're paying off debt, compound interest is like a villain that's working against you. But when you're saving and investing, it's like a superhero that's working in your favor. For example, if you have a credit card with an APR of 18% and you owe $2,000, you'll end up paying $360 in interest over the course of a year, assuming you don't make any new purchases. That's like throwing $360 out the window. But, if you have a savings account with a 2% interest rate, and you deposit $2,000, you'll earn $40 in interest over the course of a year. It's not a lot, but it's a start. The key is to understand how compound interest works and use it to your advantage. Now, I want to talk about the importance of having a high-yield savings account. It's not just a place to park your money, it's a tool that can help you build wealth over time. With a high-yield savings account, you can earn a higher interest rate than a traditional savings account, which means you can grow your money faster. For example, if you have $10,000 in a high-yield savings account with a 2.5% interest rate, you'll earn $250 in interest over the course of a year. That's like getting free money. And, with the current market environment, where the Fed has paused interest rate hikes, it's a great time to take advantage of high-yield savings accounts. Some banks are offering rates as high as 4.5%, which is significantly higher than what you'd earn with a traditional savings account. But, here's the thing, paying off debt and building wealth is not just about the numbers. It's about the emotional and psychological aspect of it. It's about overcoming the shame and guilt that comes with debt. It's about developing a healthy relationship with money. For me, it was about recognizing that I wasn't alone and that millions of people were struggling with debt. It was about finding a community of people who understood what I was going through. And it was about being kind to myself and acknowledging that I made mistakes, but I was willing to learn from them. If you're struggling with debt, I want you to know that you're not alone. There are resources available to help you, from credit counseling services to online forums and support groups. Now, I want to ask you a question. What's the biggest debt you're currently facing? Is it credit card debt, student loans, or a personal loan? Share your story in the comments below. I read every single comment, and I want to hear from you. By sharing your story, you'll not only be helping yourself, but you'll also be helping others who may be going through the same thing. And if you know someone who's struggling with debt, please share this video with them. It may be the wake-up call they need to start taking control of their finances. If this video has helped you, please hit the like button. It tells me to keep creating content that helps people like you. In my next video, I'll be talking about the importance of investing for beginners. I'll be sharing my own experience of starting to invest at 35 and how it's helped me build wealth over time. If you want to learn more about investing and how to get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I'll be sharing more tips and strategies on how to build wealth and achieve financial freedom. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments below. I'm here to help, and I want to make sure that you have the resources you need to succeed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. As I continued on my journey to pay off debt, I realized the importance of having a long-term plan. I set a goal to pay off my entire debt within 5 years, and I broke it down into smaller, manageable chunks. I created a spreadsheet to track my progress, and I updated it every month to see how far I'd come. It was amazing to see the numbers decrease over time, and it motivated me to keep going. For example, in the first year, I paid off $10,000 in debt, which was a significant milestone. In the second year, I paid off $15,000, and by the third year, I was debt-free except for my student loans. I also learned about the different strategies for paying off debt, such as the snowball method and the avalanche method. The snowball method involves paying off debts with the smallest balances first, while the avalanche method involves paying off debts with the highest interest rates first. I decided to use a combination of both methods, where I paid off my debts with the highest interest rates first, but also made smaller payments on my debts with smaller balances. This approach helped me save money on interest and build momentum as I paid off each debt. Another key aspect of my journey was learning to avoid lifestyle inflation. As I started to earn more money, I was tempted to upgrade my lifestyle and spend more on luxuries. But I knew that if I wanted to pay off my debt and build wealth, I had to avoid the temptation to inflate my lifestyle. Instead, I directed my extra income towards my debt and savings. For example, when I got a raise at work, I increased my debt payments by 50% and put the rest into a savings account. This approach helped me stay focused on my goals and avoid the trap of lifestyle inflation. I also discovered the power of automation in personal finance. I set up automatic payments for my debts and savings, so that I didn't have to think about it every month. This helped me avoid missed payments and ensure that I was making progress towards my goals. I also used apps and tools to track my expenses and stay on top of my finances. For example, I used an app to track my daily expenses and categorize them, which helped me identify areas where I could cut back and save more. In addition to paying off debt, I also focused on building an emergency fund. I knew that having a cushion of savings would help me avoid going further into debt when unexpected expenses arose. I aimed to save 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses in an easily accessible savings account. This fund gave me peace of mind and helped me avoid the stress of living paycheck to paycheck. For example, when my car broke down and needed repairs, I was able to use my emergency fund to cover the costs, rather than going into debt. As I look back on my journey, I realize that paying off debt and building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time, discipline, and patience. But the benefits are well worth it. I feel more confident and in control of my finances, and I'm excited to see where my journey takes me next. I've also learned the importance of being accountable and transparent with my finances. I share my progress with a trusted friend or family member, which helps me stay on track and motivated. And I've learned to celebrate my small wins along the way, which helps me stay positive and focused on my goals. I've also been exploring the concept of financial independence, which is the ability to live off your investments and not have to work for money. It's a fascinating topic, and I've been learning about the different strategies and approaches that people use to achieve financial independence. For example, some people use a dividend investing strategy, where they invest in stocks that pay high dividends and use the dividend payments to cover their living expenses. Others use a real estate investing strategy, where they invest in rental properties and use the rental income to cover their living expenses. Overall, my journey to pay off debt and build wealth has been a transformative experience. It's taught me the importance of discipline, patience, and perseverance, and it